But you've got to be looking at Tribe and Space Station and thinking, you guys are big orgs, you're getting paid very well, you've got big players, you're all experienced,
Yeah.
and they're not performing. Like,
I don't know how. I'm going to try and introduce this for YouTube. I don't know how to start this. So, welcome everyone. If you're joining us from YouTube, we're here with the leader of EYG, Evolve Your Game family, Crunk / Beastos, and we've got a whole load of questions to go through. So, I suppose first things first. How you doing? How was your shopping? Can I turn them up? Of course, I can turn them up, man.
yeah, it's all right, man. You just got to just chucking it in the fridge and stuff as fast as possible. I felt bad for you because last week we couldn't do it because I scheduled a war on top of it and the clocks changed and that messed us up like it does. And this week, like, it's typical nonsense. But I'm glad to make it finally. So I've made these guys wait a lot of extra time, so I'm going to make it worth their while by spilling some juicy nonsense. Whatever they ask, I'll answer. No worries.
Nice. Well, here, you know what? So Ristey has 2 weeks in a row helped you out. So Ristey last week did a whole interview, and this week I just did a 1v1 against him and beat him. So not only did he turn up for a 1v1, he also let me win. So that was good of him. This is totally off topic. What are your opinions on Ristey? It's a bit nah.
No. Two big families. He's a leader. Could easily turn into a massive rivalry and hate and everything. Like, I'm better than you, you're better than me. But it's nothing like that. He's a top bloke. I've known him since I think we first met in CWL. We were negotiating with each other and found out we lived quite close to each other. Maybe within an hour of each other. And that's pretty cool. Like, no one really plays Clash from this area. Then you find out he's running a massive family, and he's not only running a massive family, he's running competitive teams, and he's doing it very well. There aren't any. It's very difficult to do what he does, running a huge family, and I understand what he does. And on top of that, he's a top bloke. He doesn't do the drama or anything. We did look at working together once in the past. He went with someone instead, and we went with someone instead. We didn't think it was quite right because we were so similar, and it didn't work out for either of us. So maybe we should have worked together. But they're still going really strong a year later, and so are we. So I think whatever we both do, we'll both be doing quite well.
That's good. Well, I mean, I love Unfair Warfare and EYG have both been brilliant supporters. And like kind of were the inspiration behind my whole Family Feud sort of idea was to see you guys come. Now you guys haven't ever actually played Unfair Warfare and EYG, but that was kind of the thinking behind it. So hopefully Family Feud season 2. But let's get back to talking about you. Sorry, I stole that. I ended up talking about myself or about Family Feud. But we've got, in terms of questions, we've got a wee bit of like quick fire stuff. So we've got a few different things, but we'll start off with just some sort of, let's find it all about Crunk, yeah? Basically, what I've got here is intro about Crunk, time playing, how many accounts, how did you get in the game, all that sort of stuff. What's your Clash story? How did you get into Clash?
I suppose it was probably when I first got an iPad. I was in university, and my job at the time was playing. My job was just playing poker as like a student and playing poker. I didn't do anything else. All my income came from playing poker, and it was getting a bit out of control because I was getting to the final year, and it was affecting my education quite a lot because I basically had to like drop out a year and go back because it was so much. And Clash of Clans just kind of it took it over in a way. It took over playing that. So, and it just continued and continued and continued. It was quite like a game I played really young called Age of Empires. Never really been into many games and stuff, but it just sort of snowballed. And every year it got a bit more serious. And then this happened and this happened, and all of a sudden you got a massive family, and you're playing competitive Clash 5-6 times a week. It's crazy.
That's so funny. Yeah, so it was like it was almost something to fill an addiction sort of slot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say
that's pretty huge. Yeah, that's like Clash saved my life sort of thing, or at least my uni education.
before it wasn't particularly a bad thing what I was doing before, but it wasn't like costing me it wasn't costing money or anything, but it like on the other side of things it was very good in that sense.
Yeah. That's cool. Nedster says you must be better at poker than you are at Clash. So there you go. There's some lovely support from Ned.
Yeah, I think he's right.
What about other games? Do you play any other games, or sort of Clash of Clans your life?
These days, no. Back in the day, I think every British person plays a bit of Football Manager, as you do. It's a bit of an old classic, but not really into games that much, to be honest. Apart from this.
Cool. And what about what clans do you play in? Is it just your old Brian fan club, or you got any other clans?
Nah, a few other. Frostlight. Got a few accounts farming in there. Been there a long time. A little bit of work, Ground Eagles. I'm filling in some 5v5 wars at the moment. And Magirian Army, playing a bit in there. But not as much as I'd like. I had to cut back on my accounts from 6 to 4 because it was getting out of control again.
Yeah, we know that. What about, have you ever taken a break from the game?
Yeah, I took about a year off. I did the old gap year thing and went to Australia for a year, and that was just when like CWL, Clan War Leagues, was coming out. And it's very difficult in that time zone to be in a clan, British American clan. I understand. I don't know how they do it, like Resistance and all those clans. You just had to give it up. Really, I was missing war hits and stuff, and it just wasn't. It didn't suit really.
Cool, man. That's cool. What about outside the game? What do you do in real life? Hello? Oh, there you are.
You're alive.
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What do you do in real life? Yeah, what do you do outside of the game?
Yeah, I suppose you could say I like the thing I've missed the most in the last year is probably music festivals and stuff like that.
Okay.
Pretty much going to things every month, pretty much anything you can, festivals every year. That's something I definitely missed this last year. But you'll be going back to it pretty soon. I'd like to say sport, but that was a few years ago massively, not so much anymore.
Cool.
I was huge into triathlons about 5 or 6 years ago. Then that's another thing Clash had a really bad effect from. Now it's just like it's not so much like going on runs and like 2-hour cycle rides in the middle of the day. It's more like, oh yeah, I've got to stick around and check my gold and do a bit, make sure I don't miss this war hit and just be there to be in case someone's got a problem with the league or something. It's just I need to get back to that as well, to be honest.
But that's because that's the thing. You're not just it's not just like a game that you play, if that makes sense. You farm a few accounts, and then it sounds like you've got a fair few accounts going on there. You've got the whole family that you're running clans, you're running leagues as well. We're going to talk about all that sort of stuff later on as well. You've got a new project coming up as well. Ted was good enough to send in some viewer questions as well to help us out on that. So you've got whole lots of stuff. I think we'll take a wee break from all that sort of stuff though. Let's talk about the weekend. Did you catch the Worlds warm-up?
Yeah, I was aware of what was going on. Logged on and off here and there. Like the guys BFC had a voice party, so went on there for a little bit, come off, go back on. It's not something you're going to stay on all day and watch, but like you'd like to know what's going on in the community and stuff. Yeah,
it's a couple of long days, like sort of. I think like maybe 6 to 8 hour streams. They were long streams that they were doing. Yeah. Loads and loads of wars.
I couldn't believe Itsu and Judo was streaming 8 wars back to back. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I get tired after doing like 1 or 2. If I do 2 wars in a row, I'm knackered. But like towards the end of the second day, poor Judo was looking a bit tired, and I said it in chat, and I meant it as like a compliment. Like the guy is still going. The guy was standing the whole time as well. So Itsu had played it smart. Itsu was sitting down in his chair, but I don't know if you noticed, Judo was standing up the whole time. It's good standing up. It lets you move around a bit more and sort of like makes you look a little bit more dynamic. But That's a long stream to be standing for, man. And he looked tired, man, by the end of it. And it was a good effort from him there, getting all the way through that. It was really impressive.
I think they did a great job.
What do you think of the new format? You think, because I think this is a format they're going to try and sort of replicate, and I think that this is the idea, is they were just looking for some teams to run through. Did you like that sort of best of one and?
I definitely like the structure of having more teams involved and seeing new teams in the bracket instead of seeing 6 teams play so many matches. It's more like you've got. I'd prefer it if Worlds was like that every month. Like you had like a live event with that many. I know it's not possible to transport that many people to Poland and stuff when the live qualifiers are on, but it would be pretty awesome this year while it'll still be online if they could do that and like give clans more opportunities who wouldn't normally make it, because you can pretty much you've got your 20-30 favourites who you'd expect to be there in a qualifier each month. Then you'll have a few clans come out of the pack which you've never heard of before, and a few other clans will sneak in who are knocking on the door all the time.
Yeah,
but I think it's a good format what they've got today. But the Supercell Clan War leagues, I don't like that for qualification. And the invited teams thing, I understand why the teams are invited, but I think there could probably be a better way to do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the invited teams is going to carry on to next in like the proper Worlds. I think that was just. I get the impression that was just for the warm up, because you basically got, because they didn't go through the proper Supercell qualifier sort of structure, the offline qualifiers, if that makes sense. You had all these 5v5 teams that weren't set up to be able to do Supercell CWL in a 15-man team, and to be to be one of the top 8 teams or whatever. So I think that's where that sort of invited thing came from. But yeah, it made some interesting sort of well, for example, we got Indian Clashers got through from day one. Everyone else is out. Everyone else that played on day one used it all up. So it
goes to show the teams in Worlds last year, they are still the top dogs. They've still got it. Like the other teams, it's a class
is it that,
apart.
or is it that they were able to do some live homework on the teams that they were going to be up against? Maybe a bit of that as well.
Maybe like their first match on day one, like that's the big match you're coming into it. And you can take a Felian, for example. They put 15 stars up in their first war.
Yeah.
Then in their second war, they put 9 stars. Like, I find it hard to criticize them because they came in, they put up 15 stars.
Yeah.
And it's their first time as, I know Aphelion qualified last year, but it's a new group of players and it's their first time at a live event.
Yeah.
But you've got to be looking at Tribe and Space Station and thinking, you guys are big orgs, you're getting paid very well, you've got big players, you're all experienced, and they're not performing. Like, honestly, Tribe and Space Station, if you're the owner of that org, you're looking at those teams and you're thinking, because the community tournaments and that are great, but that's where you've got to do it in the big live events like World. The benchmark for them is to qualify for those last 8 of Worlds. And they're nowhere. I wasn't even confident that they were going to qualify. It's just not good enough when you're that sort of org, because they're probably 2 of the biggest orgs in the game.
I think for me, Space Station was the biggest shock because they basically had the sort of the big names from Tribe. And they had, do you know what I mean? They had these big names from Tribe coming in. They had Marinol in there as well. It was a really exciting new lineup. And
I know
first hurdle, man, just failed. It was like that's a bit gutting.
I want Space Station to do well. I like them.
Yeah,
guys are decent. Hold my beer. He's top bloke, but you got to look at some of the players and be like, you're not performing when it matters. Like, and like some of the players like Nick and Lex were at Tribe and it didn't work out there, and they've gone to Space Station. I know it's early days, but they've got to perform this year. Like, I don't know if Lex is more interested in his YouTube or whatever. Have they like cut those 2 and Marinol come in? They pushed out 3 people and there's some problems. You don't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
but they've got to perform, because it's not when you're that sort of big when you're that big an org, you've got to get results.
No, that's a fair point. I was going to say, I had another question written down here as biggest shocks. I think we've kind of covered it with Space Station and Tribe. I suppose Queen Walkers losing Indian Clashers was maybe the other one. I missed that match, unfortunately. So
yeah, so did I.
Okay. Maybe can't say much about that.
Yeah. I know they get a lot of hype because they're creative and they're fun to watch, and it's very hard to criticize them. But on the day, again, like they've done well. Maybe it's just a one-off. You don't know, but it's very difficult. They're a very likable bunch of people. But in some of the community leagues as well, the EYG Open, they didn't even finish in the top 4 of their group.
Yeah,
and you've got to look at people like Klaus is doing like these amazing hits, and when they come off, like everyone's like, "Oh wow!" and it's like on YouTube with hundreds of thousands of hits. But when he's failing, like he's got one of the lower hit rates in Green Ball. When he's failing, you don't hear anything about it.
yeah.
But he's got to look at himself and think you just got to get the job done on the big stage. There's no point in messing around with 10 invisibility spells and all this nonsense. Like just get the job done, get the triple, get out of there, get on to the next day.
Cool, man. That's good. So I've got a wee we've got the matches that are coming up next weekend. I'm just going to bring it up in front of me a second. I don't know if you've got the stream on still turned down. It helps if I can find it nice and quickly. Here we go. So I've got the world's bracket. So instead of doing a tier list, we thought we'd just run through a wee just a wee sort of prediction for. We'll go through them. So that basically the top 2 matches there, the top of the bracket, or the left-hand side of the bracket, and then we've got the bottom 2 matches down there will basically be the other semi-final, if that makes sense. So let's just run through some predictions. What are you thinking? So we've got ATN versus 11 Original is the first match. What are you thinking there?
It's the most obvious one.
Yeah.
ATN. 11 Original, you've got to give them credit. They all in the community leagues, they don't do so well, but when it matters, they perform. But
yeah,
ATN just too good, far too good.
I'm impressed at how much they've been able to keep their team together, and being able and that they've stayed on form as well. They just continue to, like, if you look at the community leagues, on their attacks, they're not winning everything, but they're winning a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's like since Worlds, I think they've been on a bit of a break. They probably haven't been operating at 100% capacity, and this is like the first thing, which is probably for them. It's got to be quite hard to get motivated to do some of these community leagues, but this will motivate them, and they'll want to show they're still the best, and I think they'll win it.
Okay, cool. Happy days. Right, what about Nishan Dance versus Tompanai Empire? Tompanai, a new name, but it's basically it's your Rigo Torres and all that lot sort of sitting in there under the new guys. Who are you calling out of those 2?
Nishan Dance all day. They're too good. They're too good. I think they're on form at the moment. I think they are the one clan which probably scare ATN the most, to be honest, and for good reason. They are. I like Tompanai Empire and everything, and I would like them to win. But I think Nishan Dance have got too much.
You thought Nishan have got it? Okay, cool. What about so now sort of like the other side of the bracket? We'll come back to we'll do a wee prediction on out of the top 2 afterwards. But Indian Clasher, it was if I could say it right. Indian Clashers versus Darkest Muzan. Potentially quite an easy one as well, but I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know a lot about either of these clans compared to the rest of them, but I think Indian Clashers beat Queen Walkers last week. They've got a week to reset. I think they're going to do it. I don't know. This is pretty much a coin flip, but I'm going to go with probably the underdog, Indian Clashers.
I would have gone with Darkest Muzan there, so that's interesting. But that's more just from the fact that I just don't know Indian Clashers at all. But that's I like that, a little bit different. Right, what about HT Family versus Vatang then? Vatang beating Method to Madness. I was a little bit gutted about what to see Method to Madness continue on. They had some nice creative hits, but I think sometimes creativity undoes people a little bit. Eh? Anyway, that match is past. HT Family versus Vatang. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of think Vatang, South Korea. I think South Korea is like one of the strongest scenes after Germany in the game, and maybe Japan. And HT Family, I don't rate them. They made their name from getting the wild card. They were the weakest team in the World Championships. Who did they beat yesterday?
Did they beat it? I don't know. You're testing me.
It was a Felion, wasn't it?
Was it a Felion?
Didn't perform.
Right?
I think it was like 12-9 or something. And 12 stars at this level isn't good enough. Like Vatang all day.
Cool. So we go back at the top. You chose alternate attacks, you chose ATN, and you chose Nishan Dance. Who are you thinking out of those 2?
I want to say Nishang Dance, but I think ATN will have. They'll be running their best bases for that one. They'll be set up for Nishang Dance, ATN all day.
At Felion, sorry, at Felion, I've just read chat, sorry. Yeah, so ATN is where your head's at, but your heart says Nishan. Okay, so ATN into the final, and then you chose Indian Clashers and Vatang. Who do you call out with those two to get into the semi?
Nah, that's going to be a slaughter. It's going to be like 15-10 to Vatang.
Okay, cool. So then we've got alternate attacks versus Vatang as your call for the final. What are you thinking?
ATN. I think Vatang will push them close. Wouldn't surprise me to see Vatang get. I think Vatang are definitely one of the teams who can beat ATN. You've got those teams that can beat ATN. There's maybe 4 or 5 of them who they think that they need to show up and they've got to be at their best. And I think if ATN are at their best, they're going to win.
Cool. Happy days. So there we go. I've not drawn any graphics or anything, but we've got it all recorded, so we can refer back to that and find out how we go. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks for doing that. It's good. Just a wee bit of it feels like proper podcasting going on there. We've chatted about something that just happened. This. Yeah, it's quite cool, man. So we'll go back to EYG a little bit now. The organisation. Tell us about sort of kind of just all about the family. What was the sort of the ethos behind it? How did you come about forming EYG? Why did you form it?
Yeah, I was sort of around at the time. I think I was abroad at the time. And Homemade was like the main guy back around then. We had like a clan and a feeder clan, and he just got control of another clan from a mate who retired. A mate of his retired, and he's building it up. Then like he recruited another clan. He's like, so what are we going to call us as a group? And him and the people at the time, I think pretty much all of them have retired and come back to the game or something. And they came up with EYG, and all the big families at the time were the Reddit clan system, Reddit clan alliance. I think the circle was pretty big. You had like Elite Nation. Champions War League was like the only real relevant war league in the game, and everyone wanted to be in that. And Homemade just went wild. He was recruiting people left, right, and centre, adding clans, and people were like, we had this free move. One of the initial things was we had this free movement where you can go from any clan in the family, just go and meet other people, have a bit of a laugh, get together, do some big wars. Like at the time, doing a 50v50 war was huge. Like,
yeah,
there were no like friendly wars or anything like that. But it was really fun, like having like action for 24 hours. And
in the old times when you had to try and spin at the same time and hope that you guys would match. Remember trying to get those? They had the whole like weight sheets and all that sort of stuff. Oh man,
sometimes it went well. Sometimes it went well. I organised one of them once, and like when it's spinning, you're like, oh bloody hell, if this goes wrong, it's on me, and it went wrong. And then you had to reset and respin again, and luckily after like 2 days of playing out 2 random wars each, he got the inter-family feud. It was a hard life back then. Everything was hard.
Cool. So you were away at the time, so you didn't form EYG. So how did you come to be the leader of it then? What happened there?
I wouldn't particularly say I'm the leader of it. The EYG Open, probably yes, but the family itself, no, definitely not. The leaders run that. There's a structure in place. I'll tell you how it comes across. We grew to like 30, 40 clans just really fast with no sort of plan, just freestyling it the whole way. And the one there was a bunch of drama, absolute nonsense. We lose about 10 clans. Like a few people went their own ways and formed like 3 different alliances. They were all better than EYG. Then a load of people stayed. All the good people stayed, in my eyes. And all those 3 alliances don't exist anymore. You probably never heard of them. Well, one of them was very good. Was always on good terms with one of them, but the other 2 just useless. They were going to crush EYG, and even like a year after they've gone from the face of the game, EYG is still going stronger than ever. But yeah, we created this document, the Constitution, brought in and we started vetting clans and clan leaders properly. having, I think it takes about 30 to 60 days to get your clan into EYG with an intense interview, 2-step process. So we're not just accepting any old people anymore. Now it's, you've got to be good, you've got to be a fit, you've got to add something to the family. You can't just be like, the amount of people you get turn up just being like, oh yeah, we want to be with you for recruiting is ridiculous. Like, yeah, that's good. Like, everyone wants to be at recruiting, but you've got to bring value.
Yeah, you got to contribute as well.
Yeah, and everyone we've added recently has been really good. We lost a few clans a little while back. Now and again, a clan will like it'll just be like, oh, we're struggling, we need help, and the other clans will come towards that clan. They'll put like their ult in, help it out. They'll get a bit more attention from our gateway recruitment system to bring them back to full health, and it works pretty well in that sense. I don't think everyone's bending over backwards to like do things, but like if someone needs help, everyone will go in and help stabilize your clan and everything, because everyone gets retirements and do a little bit of drama, and I think a little bit of drama is healthy when you come together and you solve something. But the problem is when you get drama is if it's family drama, then it can be really messy.
Yeah.
But it's in a good spot right now, probably the strongest it's ever been, and you're always kind of looking like, what now? Like, you've done this, now it's like you've ticked this box, then the next thing's like, all right, we've done this, we've grown to this kind, we've participated in Champions War League, ticked. Now we've got to win a league, and then you win a league, then you've got to like get into 5v5. Yeah, now then one of the next things is to run the EYG Open War, we'll become a league doing that. Now we've got to become one of the top leagues. I think we're on our way to doing that. And one of the things is to one of my big ambitions, it's a bit random, is B Money, the man behind Brian Fan Club, Brian. He's got this ongoing bet with us. If we can get him $1,000 in personal winnings, he will let me and Russ personally shave his head. And he's got really long hair. And we're on about his cuts between 250 and 300. I think we've got a long way to go, but I think it'll happen at some stage.
Happy days. So I've got that actually had that down for one of the questions. Is like, I've got long and short term goals for EYG. Like, what are your targets this year for the organisation, for the family, and what's your maybe like 5-year plan? Maybe 5 years is too much. What's your longer term goals for EYG?
Right now, successful league season and another one this year. I'm pretty sure Town Hall 14 is coming pretty soon. Don't know when. I think in the next couple weeks. I think this April update's going to do it. Yeah. I don't know anything, but I'm pretty confident that's going to interrupt the season, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but you deal with it either way. You know what it's like. Alpha League's probably sweating as well.
Yeah, I think Alpha League's got a backup plan. I've got a plan for Family Feud as well. It's like it's going to screw everything up a little bit. I know why they're not telling us about when the update is, but an actual date would be really handy to help plan everything around.
There's a rumor going around that the end of this weekend there's going to be a Town Hall 14 show event, but to do that I was kind of expecting sneak peeks today and it didn't happen. But I don't know anything. I wish I did, but it is a pain in the ass not knowing as an organizer of leagues. It really is. But there's nothing you can do about it. Everyone's in the same position. But the only thing you can do is like plan for if it happens. And if it happens, it happens. You've got to make the best of it. Maybe we can complete our season and be one of the first leagues still running Town Hall 14 competitive wars. Maybe that'll help. But I don't know, man. I would like to get some bigger sponsors on board. I would like to increase the prize pool eventually. I don't know how that works. I'm very happy with our current sponsors. And if anyone's looking to sponsor next season, then just give us a shout. We'll be doing a Match Arena fundraiser, a little bit of self-advertising. But just have a laugh, really. It's pretty much the thing. It's fun. It's kind of fun as well. Just chilling out and taking the piss out of people like Ned. Like, there's not really many people that get offended easily there anymore. Like in the past, there has been, but right now, it's in a really good spot.
So someone here, Hans, has asked in the chat, what type of value do you need a new clan to provide for EYG? It's quite an interesting one.
To be fair, like if you want to just be a clan, turn up to the server, click the little reaction button, tag the merger team, and they'll send you the constitution. And generally, what they're looking for is good, healthy clans, strong leadership, stability is really important, and just be better than average and be a good person. Don't be. No one wants to clash with arseholes, and you just want be a bit of a laugh as well. If you're a bit of a laugh and you can not take yourself too seriously, then you're in a pretty good spot. That's a big problem in the game when you're talking over. A lot of people take themselves well too seriously in this game.
Happy days. What else have we got? I think there's kind of naturally moved on to tournament stuff here. So, you drove the EYG Open, but that wasn't your first sort of foray into league stuff. So how did you get into sort of like the behind the scenes league stuff? What motivated you to do that, and where did you go? Tell us about that. Tell us about your story in the league side of things.
Yeah, I suppose you can say CWL Champions War League. That was before 5v5 was a thing, and that wasn't that was the big league. It was huge breakdowns, like 25 to 40 man breakdowns every weekend. And you'd look forward to spinning on a Saturday and warring over the weekend. You'd get your base ready on the Monday and Tuesday and go again. That was it. That's all you had to look forward to. A few regular spins in the week, maybe a potluck if you're lucky. And it was maybe season 5, and I was a bit bored at the time. I needed something to do. And you know what it's like. I just needed something to do. I thought I could have a go at that. It don't look too hard. And like the admins at the time, there was a lot of drama and nonsense going on, and people were arguing in leader chat like all the time, saying it's the worst it's ever been. So I just I signed up to applications, got put through, and it was pretty good. Like there was lots of drama with Adam at the time, and
I was about to say that. Was that around about the time Adam brought out his he's got many I'm quitting videos and on his channel.
Yeah, and, he was it was a time like he was getting banned from CWL, and it was a really weird time. And there were loads of admins quitting, and he was making videos and like just saying it as it is, and like let's be honest, his ban was absolute nonsense from CWL, absolute nonsense. Like I've been in the CWL server, I've seen the history. I don't know, on a rainy day you flick through it and it's just absolute nonsense. Like yeah, maybe he should have kept his mouth shut at times and maybe not said something, but like he did become an admin after this, and I'll get onto that. But like I rose through the ranks quite fast because so many people were quitting because they just didn't want the drama, or they just had enough, or they're pissed off with Adam criticising them. And I'll be honest, I was quite a big driver with BRG behind the CWL esports actually happening. When that happened, that was like the fun bit. It wasn't a lot of work doing the long form at least, but that esports league was that was more fun and a lot more work to set up. Initially, at the same time, Adam and Wuxia were becoming admins, and they were very good to work with. Wuxia was one of the best admins I've ever worked with. Adam was very good when he was very good, but at the same time, he could be very challenging to work with, and because he expects he expects the best at every moment, and if you're not if you're doing something wrong or something, he'll call you out, and he probably won't call you out in the best way either, and it turns into a massive argument. And the amount of admins I've seen him have that with I've had a few arguments with him myself. I think I won one and I think I lost one. But after that initial thing of it was fine, absolutely fine. Like I did enjoy it. It was good to work with him, and the value he added to that league was actually insane. And it kind of goes to show, season 3, I don't think it was as good because he wasn't there.
Yeah. And so there was yourself and Adam and Wux and BRG kind of driving that whole esports thing, because CWL was kind of the first league to develop that, wasn't it? That sort of that 5v5 sort of format.
Yeah,
and especially the sort of the timed hits and making it a viewing experience.
They weren't the first league to do 5v5, but they were the first league to they were the first league for time zones. I'm quite happy to take credit for that. They were the first league for really putting a lot of media on it and really going for it. And Adam obviously had a huge influence on that. Getting involved with Powerbang and Ash was huge. You've got to give him credit for that again. That would never have happened without him. And just the general community hype and everything. It was and they were in a really good place. They have had 3 really good seasons.
Yeah,
where they go now, it's they've had $6,000 in the last prize pool. How do you top that next season? That's what concerns me a little bit.
Yeah, because Powerbang and Ash they've both moved away from Clash of Clans. They're both on different games now, but through AMG, through Aftershock Media Group, they're still quite involved in the background, aren't they, in CWL?
Yeah, I think especially Ash. Ash keeps a bit of an eye on things more than Powerbank. With their Aftershock Media Group is obviously a mobile gaming. What can you call it? An opportunity connections sort of company, and a lot of Clash creators work with them. And obviously, Clash is one of the biggest mobile games out there, so it's a lot of value just put a bit of money into CWL, which is the most historically known league in Clash. They were involved with it back in season 1 and 2 before they moved on. And I think in a way it was also it wasn't just sponsorship, it was also a bit of a fan move, a thank you, this was the game that made us and everything. And I don't know. I hope they return again next season. I have no idea. I don't get that sort of information anymore, but it would be great to see them come back in. And but they don't. They just sort of put up the money then and just do what you've got to do. There's no interference or anything. It's just do what you've got to do. They're very professional. The most and I hope they continue with CWL.
Yeah, cool, man. But you're not involved in CWL anymore. You've got the EYG Open going now, and was it a desire to do the EYG Open that basically led you to step down from the sort of the behind the scenes stuff at CWL?
Yeah, well, CWL, you've done it for 2 years, to the varying degrees level. There was one trigger moment where I stepped down. There's a lot of reasons and a lot of things I didn't agree with, and I don't think one thing that really frustrated me was, although I was a senior admin, there were so many people who were admins just not pulling their weight. It really pissed me off. And you put all the best admins on esports, and esports is brilliant because of that. Then all the admins who don't really do a lot, you put on the other leagues, and you're there and you're focusing on esports and making it as good as you can, and you've got admins in other leagues not doing their jobs, and the participants in those leagues getting pissed off and they're tagging you, and there's one guy in that league. I have no idea how he's still an admin. All he does is make the pins for the sign-up sheet every season. And I had some big arguments with BRG. You won't fire him. It's absolutely madness. I don't know why. Maybe they're mates or whatever. But BRG was ultimately in charge. Even though you're a senior admin, BRG's got the keys. He owns the server. You can't. That's what it is. BRG, he's a good guy, good admin, but he doesn't want to upset people. And nothing bad to say about Works. Yeah, excellent in every respect. Obviously, Adam was just dropping off at the end for reasons we're not going to talk about. But and you can see it kind of when he was dropping off. You're thinking, "Oh God, what's going to happen next? Is it going to be good? Is it CWR still going to be good?" Because no one cared more than him. And some of the other admins at the same time. I'm glad I saw they put out a recruitment post recently, and I hope they've got some good ones to drive it forward. But Danny's really good. Danny is really good. I picked him. We picked him up for NACC. Headhunted him. Poached him. He's really good, and there's a few other good ones I'll give credit to, like Samantha, and Tribute was really good. He's recently retired. They were very good. But there was a moment, and I gave the rest of the admins an ultimatum. And I said, if you do that, I'm not going to tell you what it was. I said, if you do this, I'm off. I'm done. And they did it. And I don't know if they know. To this day, I don't know if they thought I was bluffing or not. But I just left the server straight away. I'm like, I'm done. Just like if you're putting in all this effort and stuff, like I would like to say I was one of the main contributors to that league. I think the rest of the admins would agree with you around that time, and it pissed me off. And I told them I put my time into another league, and that's exactly what I've done.
Yeah, which brings us on EYG Open quite nicely. So it's in season 2 now, sort of just about to finish. Well, I'm saying just about to start the knockout stages, but actually it's bigger than. So season 1, you started off with just a 5v5 league, didn't you? Or well, just 2 5v5 leagues, but now you've got all sorts of stuff going on in this season 2. Do you want to talk us about this, sort of the thoughts behind the divisions and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, season 1 it was good. You don't really have like obviously a new tournament in season 1. It's difficult to attract sponsors for a new tournament, but we did. We're known as a family, and we've got a reputation, and people know that EYG is pretty solid to their words. And we raised $500 for season 1, and that went very well. I think we had a final between One Hive and Bad Zinger, which was the toughest mediation of my life. One Hive, massive respect to them. Honestly, what they did, unbelievable respect to them, those guys. But season 2, I think every season you've got to like add some things on and make it a bit better. But you don't want to make it better too fast or grow too fast. So season 2, obviously the sign-ups explode. You've got open sign-ups to pro and open sign-ups to rookie, but we don't want to be a league like accepting like 300 clans to pro. Like, we want to keep the quality like high still. In season 2 we did, so we had to run qualifiers, and other leagues they run 300 clans or whatever, and you've got like top clans like Queen Walkers playing some clan who don't even know what time zones are, and then Queen Walkers get pissed off and they don't sign up again.
Right, yeah.
And so you do qualifiers, you whittle out all the time wasters, you find the best clans. Some clans get through qualifiers, and you have your invited clans at the same time, your top clans. You don't need to do qualifiers like your NCSs, your Tribe Gamings, and all them. And you hold the back the spots of the qual. So all the teams qualify for pro. Sorted. You get your top 96, and everyone who doesn't qualify, the next 96 go into. We weren't planning this originally, but the sign-ups are so huge. We wanted to do something for them. We made like I always call it the middleweight division. We call it the homemade division because he was like the founder of the family.
Is that where the name comes from?
He probably doesn't even know it's called homemade. He's on the server, but I haven't seen him mention anything. But I was kind of hoping he'd probably say, "Oh, what the hell's this?" But nah, he hasn't said a word. But,
I thought it was a weird word for intermediate. I thought I missed the sort of the language thing there, but it makes sense now. It's named after someone, right? Okay, I got you.
I'm thinking of calling it expert next season, but we'll see. So next 96 teams go into that division, and the 14 places in the pro division go into that division's wildcard round. So they've got a second shot as well. And obviously you've got rookie below, which is like clans you really haven't done like this esports. Like, it's not fun when you sign up to a league and you're getting battered 15-10 by Vatang or someone. It's not fun. Like, you want to play clans, especially when you start out entry level. And some of the EYG teams themselves play this, and they've never done it before, and they thought, "Oh yeah, I'll give that a go." And they never really thought of it, but they never really thought of entering that type of competition. But I think they've enjoyed it, and a lot of other teams, you do get some teams sneaking in, which you just say, "Oh, what the hell are you doing in here? You're in the semi-finals of Fury Cup or something." Like, they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't know," but you move them up. Like, we've got a lot of knowledge and a lot of friends in the community. But yeah, it's going pretty well, and we sort of know in our heads what we want to do for next season. I'm not going to say what we want to do for next season because someone will listen to this and they'll steal the idea for themselves. You kind of want to be the first league on the scene to like make it OP.
Cool, that's nice, man. What about sort of like challenges and lessons learned? What if you've got someone who's wanting to start, and there are so many leagues out there just now, so many leagues and tournaments and all that sort of stuff. What's the one bit of advice that you'd give someone that wants to start, apart from don't bother? What's the one bit of advice you'd give someone?
Have good people around you, because you're not going to be there all the time. Have really good people around you, in fact. People who give a toss. For us, it works in the fact all our admins are EYG people instead of people like CWL, where just you get mercenaries coming in because they want the position and the status and all that nonsense. And prepare for hard work, because it's not easy. It's harder than what you think. It's you need to be in it for the long haul. Like, you can't just do a season and expect it to like be amazing. Like, take Alpha League for example. You've got Clash with Style there working his bollocks off. He's done it 4 seasons now, and I remember in the first season, it might be in the second season, but there was a day when it was blowing up. It was blowing up, and like people are asking him stupid questions, and even though he's already announced it like 3 times, and you could see the frustration in this post he made. It was how to get banned and a list of things. It just cracked me up, and I was thinking, I know exactly how pissed off. I know exactly the quite questions you're getting right now, but you get used to it season after season, and he's done a really good job there, and you get used to it. Like, some of my admins are like, these guys are idiots. Like, the same person every week asking this and that. Like, it's like, yeah, you just got to get used to it. We won't accept it next season if they're being a pain in the arse.
It is incredible, some of the questions. So if you've ever done, anyone that's watching, if you've ever done like a wee 1v1 tournament and you think you get stupid questions and frustrated with people that don't read like the 1 paragraph rules doc that you've produced, so it'll be like, it's a 1v1 and you hate each other this time, the questions that you get, and we're in week 3 of Alpha League now, and there are questions, there's people asking questions that they must have asked in week 1 and 2, like, what clan do I go to, what time do we hit at, all this sort of stuff. You just like, it's incredible. You're just like, how do you, yeah, anyway.
It can go the other way as well. It can go the other way as well. Like, you try and limit the tags the leaders get and just put all the information in one tag, but you get like other leagues that tag you like twice a day, and like after like a day you stop reading. Then you stop reading because it's just like pages of nonsense. So like, you're not there for that. You're just there like you're not in other leagues. Other leagues have got like these bots where you got to learn how to do the commands.
Oh man, bots!
And like you don't want to be a computer programmer. So all you want to do is turn up and sign up your clan to a league. You don't want to be pissing around. Learning these stupid little tag things like and how like spacing things, absolute nonsense. I see how streamers get annoyed as well. Like, so that's why we've made it as easy as possible for streamers.
Yeah. So you've just, and it's a really nice sort of setup you've got for EYG, where basically you've got all the matches in one place that you look. They're set in date order, which is quite nice. My only frustration is that I don't know if other people are streaming it, and from my point of view, as a lower end streamer, sometimes I pick a war and I'm like, I ain't going to stream that because so and so and so and so's doing it, and so no one's going to watch me, and that's probably something more to do with my my own self-esteem. But that's sort of that's my only criticism of your setup. But your setup is the fact that it's open to any streamer that is in the server. That's such a nice way of doing it. If someone wants a crack at streaming someone, then they go for it. Coop says the GCC bot. The GCC bot is easier and at least has people supporting it, Coobs. So I've commented this saying, I don't know how to do this, someone put in my things for me, and they put it in. Whereas the WCL server, flipping heck, you're on your own, and it can't even produce a printout of who's warring when. Oh man, it's great fun. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off on one. I'm just like,
you get it. You get
I hate
it,
bots. I'm quite computer savvy. I hate bots.
Oh man, I opened 3 bottles of beer for this stream. And I was starting the 3rd one right now.
Happy days. All right, so
before.
I can't wait till we get to the viewer questions when you're proper tanked up. So we've got a new tournament coming up. We've got. I might jump forward to a viewer's question here. We've got a question from I don't know who this is from, saying, "How amazing is TED 1884?"
Ted, who's he?
Who's he? Good. Yeah, cool. Nice to know.
No, he's a top bloke. He's another person. Like, I've known about him for a long time, and I've kind of spoke to him in the past, being like, "Oh yeah, it'd be really cool to work with you in an event and stuff," but never really had the opportunity, or it wasn't the right moment to work with him on an event. When this NACC came up, and he messaged me right away. He's like, "Oh, it's a really interesting idea. Huge prize pool. Do you want to come in?" And straight away, I'm like, "Yes, of course." It is going to take a big event to get me back into another admin position outside of the EYG after CWL. You want to be better in something every time, and I don't see NACC as a rival to EYG. I see it as something. It's like a kind of a different spin on leagues. I think it's more of a rival to like CWL, and I don't know if EWU is actually going on anymore, but like I see it as a rival to them because he's put together an all-star team of admins. He's got the Liga Intercontinental Clans guy. He's got the only guy who was carrying Fury Cup last season. He's got CWL's one of CWL's best admins. I'm there, obviously helping out, doing a little bit. But with that sort of team, you don't need to do a lot. You just turn up, you give your opinion, you answer a few questions. It's easy.
Yeah, he is potentially one of the most connected guys in Clash of Clans who isn't a streamer, or do you know what I mean? He's like everyone knows who he is. He's just this guy that's in the background. Tell us about the NACC then. What's the thought behind it?
Thought behind it is like there's no real like true pro league in the game, I suppose. You got to have esports and stuff. Like you got a league where everyone plays everyone, and some of these clans, like these top clans, some of the community tournaments, you've got to play any amount of games before you play another top team, and you've got to play against random teams, and they want to play the top teams every week. Those teams, and you're going to play 17 of the other top teams every other week.
Yeah,
to find out who really is the best over a long period of time, and you can hold your form and everything. It's a new concept. It's got 10 grand for the top division, which is I think the biggest community prize pool ever. There's a few things I can't really talk about, but going forward, it looks like it's in a very, very good place, and I'm going to give him a lot of credit for what he's done, Ted. Unbelievably connected. I'd like to see him have a full-time job in esports in some way if he could. I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
In time, but the second division was a bit more challenging because the top teams, you know exactly who the top teams are, but when you get further down the list, like you've got a lot of teams nearer the same level.
Yeah.
But the votes were pretty tough as well. Like, I didn't get what I want. Ted didn't get what he wanted. No one got what they wanted, in fact, but it was a fair process, and there was one team in particular I pitched out very hard for them, and I couldn't get them in. I've never had that before. In CWL, you could pretty much do what you wanted because the rest of the admins didn't really give a toss. And EYG, everyone knows exactly what's going on and supports any decision anyone else makes.
Yeah.
I'm not criticising the other NACC admins. I'm just saying it was a fair decision, but no one got what they wanted. Ted didn't get what he wanted.
Yeah, it's probably a new place for all of you. Actually, you've got the double-edged sword of bringing together all these really strong admins from lots of different leagues means that you've got a lot of really strong personalities in there, and so having to come up with a fair system there. Have you announced the Challenger division yet? Have you announced those second team leagues yet?
No, we know the clans, but
not announced yet.
I don't know when they will be announced exactly. We're announcing all the top division teams first, then at some stage they probably won't be announced one day at a time. It'll probably be 3 or 5 or maybe a full list. We haven't quite got to that yet. Our focus still is on the top division. The second division is kind of like extra. Like all the focus will be on the top division.
Yeah,
pretty much about 80%. But like the second division are definitely a lot more challenging to set up.
Yeah. I think it's a great concept though. So you've got this pro division or this top league with a massive prize pool that they're all competing weekly for. It's going to be scheduled 2 weeks in advance. So from a streamer's point of view, that's a dream. We can put this in our diary and know when it's coming up. if we're lucky enough to be in the streaming team for it. And then in that second division, you've got the opportunity for people to, and it's something that CWL started off with. That's sort of like, you've got the second division that people can move up into. The winner of that next season will come into the next. So you've got this promotion and relegation sort of concept. I think that's great. I think it's a really exciting sort of format. So yeah,
I love it, and hopefully I'll go to 3 divisions in the future. We initially signed up BFC with confidence we'd get in. I kind of knew pretty early on, like some of the clans signed up, nah, we weren't going to get in. And I'd never want it to be like you get in because you're an admin. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
But it would be, I would love to be in that, but we're gonna have to win some more community tournaments, work hard, have a kill list, beat some of those clans, and get Zane out of retirement and get our asses in there.
Happy days. Okay, we've got I think we're kind of coming towards the end of this, but I've got some viewers' questions here. So we'll just, a lot of these are, I've gotten rid of some of the most trashy ones, and we've covered a few of these already, but we'll just run through these. If I remember who they're by, then I'll tell you them as well. But we've got this one's from Coobs or Cobbs. Coobs in the chat here. We've got, who's the biggest snowflake in Crunk's eyes? And that was, and he's put that in. I asked him to clarify if that was within EYG or within the world, and he's just in the world, in the entire world. Who's the biggest snowflake? There we go. Cubes is happy with this question.
In Clash of Clans or not in Clash of Clans?
I've got no idea, man.
I don't know, man.
It's Cubes' question.
Yeah, he saw me talking about Snowflakes earlier today in the BFC server, and it's a difficult question. If it's in the game, it's going to make something. It's going to be very personal, and I don't actually have anyone in my head. But if you come to the EYG gateway and you see some of the nonsense people try and get through our recruiters, like some of those guys, man, like who come in and try and get into it's very difficult to get into the EYG server if you're being a prat or something, or to pass the gatekeepers. It's very there's the amount of snowflakes you get in there is unbelievable. I think there's about 1,500 people banned from the EYG server, which is mental.
That's crazy, man. Oh, this is a good one. I can't remember who asked this, but why did you change your name from Beastos to Crunk? What's the you are the guy that has 2 names. Which do you prefer to go by? And I've on the stream I've got Crunk underneath your name, but I don't know. What tell me about that.
Yeah, I would say it was Crunk first, and I suppose Beastos became known in like the CWL circles because it was the name of my second account. And before EYG got involved in CWL, I took that account to Crunch Time in the early days of CWL and played there. And that was my name in the EYG server. That was my name in the CWL server. Then I became an admin in CWL and just kept that name there. I got known being Beastos there, but it's always been Crunk, really. And so I've changed that. I'll piss off, B-Money. But I've always been known Crunk. I prefer Crunk, so I've changed that name permanently on my account, and I've got rid of that. I'm hopefully going to get rid of that. It's Crunk's. It's more fun. Crunk Station was one of my Poker Elias names originally because I wanted people to think I was an idiot at the poker table, just with a stupid name. And that was one of my many names. If you Google it, you'll probably find a few things like some old scores or something from 10 years ago. But
that's cool, man. I like that. Someone asked in the EYG server, and so I thought I'd put this in. Is EYG? I know the answer to this, but is EYG your full-time job now? And they also say, I think you need a pay rise. But there we go. Tell us about it.
I think that's Lolly. I had a quick flick through these questions earlier just to be a bit prepared. And it feels like a full-time job at the EYG Open, especially in like the qualifiers and setting it up. But with like COVID and everything, I've had a lot of time. So the EYG Open gave me a good time. And but it's when the EYG opens on off season, you're cruising. You got so many people doing so many different things. I don't need to worry about the family or anything. Everyone else takes care of that. The leaders run the family. EYG Open, I've got a lot more focus and attention I've got to give to that. But it's coming towards. It's in the playoffs now. Things are winding down. You've got less leaders who don't know what they're doing, knocked out. now you're dealing with the pro clans, people who know what they're doing. They've done it all season. I can do this in my sleep right now.
Okay, cool. What was your favourite Town Hall level to play at? So
Town Hall 12.
Town Hall 12. There we go.
Easy.
When it was the top Town Hall.
Yes. So I suppose that's when esports first came out. I was playing more than I was doing admin work. We had a bit of success, and it was just I was kind of good at it compared to like Town Hall 13. I'm rubbish at Town Hall 13. I suppose it was just more of a reason of being better at that Town Hall level. I probably still am better at that Town Hall level.
I love Town Hall 12. I dragged back at everything, man. It was great fun.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah, good times. With the next update, what's the thing that you want to see, and what excites you most about like the next potential update?
I don't think a lot excites me like about updates and stuff. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. You're gonna get the old credit card out. But yeah, hopefully the meta will get a bit harder, and hopefully there'll be like some new dynamics to some of the defenses and the new defense, and hopefully it'll be my biggest wish if it's harder to 3-star. As long as it's harder, and you're saying like you get a 12-star war, it's like wow, that's what I want.
Right? Yeah.
It doesn't feel good when you're 3-star anymore, and I'm saying now, and I'm not even good. But back in the day, it was like, wow, it feels pretty good.
Nice. Right, I've got Ristey's question here now. As a rep and admin for leagues, who's the worst clan you've had to deal with, and why?
Nah,
which is a proper controversial one.
Nah, that's fine.
This might become the highlight for the video.
I gave him some pretty tough questions last week, and he handled them very well. And I've thought about this. I didn't really think about it long. The guys in BFC know this will be. It's easy. I'm not even scared to say this. This isn't about disliking or anyone or anything. This is as an admin who it's hard to deal with. And there's a clan called Mafia Esports. I don't know if you come across them, but you've got these guys.
It wasn't who I thought you were going to say, but I have come across them before. Yeah, okay.
But we first come across them in CWL, and they were running like it was so obvious they were running like it was like a 2-man team or something like. And obviously, the number one rule of esports is you run one account each. And these guys, it was so obvious. Their names are the same. You join their Discord server, and there's like 3 people in there. Like teams are 5 men, and CWL removed them. Then they signed up to EYG, and I was like, all right, this is a bit weird. Like, it's obviously haven't learned their lesson. So I gave them an interview room, like more just to like see if they change their ways. Like if they change their ways, then like I'm always up for second chances and stuff. And in that interview, the ref isn't very intelligent. He basically told us he ran 4 accounts of one person in Fury Cup playoffs. Even though the Fury Cup, I didn't report them or anything. Like I think they got knocked out anyway. But and he's like, yeah, I do this all the time. Like, and I've got the screenshots of it and everything. I don't normally take screenshots that often, and banned him from the server. And just told him don't bother coming here again. And one of the guys was. I think one of the guys was playing in Clash Champs, and they've kicked him out now. And they just got removed by MLCW last week. They've worked it out. I know Global Clash Cup and banned them. If you're a league admin and you got Mafia Esports in your league, I'll be more than happy to provide you with the evidence to ban them from your league. Alpha League as well.
Alpha League.
These are all leagues that have worked it out themselves without me saying anything.
Yeah.
It's just, and the thing is that. They never learn. They never even try and cover it. It's just idiots. I'm sorry to say that word, but it's just like a complete waste of my time.
Happy days. We've got here probably the final question. The question that we've really been building up to. Everyone wants to know. It's kind of 2-parted here. I just want to. I might put these together for a bit of a reason. Alex, Clash of Style has asked, do you remember the time that you no-starred on his stream? And also he asked, who's your favourite Scottish streamer? I don't know why, they just happened to be there at the exact same time. But, you worked that one out.
Yeah, it's like we'll start with the no star on his stream. Yeah, of course I remember that. I think we had a 6-star war, which was our all-time record in Brian Fan Club. I think it was Fury Cup's last group stage match. Well, I think we were already qualified from the group, and we were all hitting from inconvenient places. I think Rusk disconnected. Got 1 star. No, I think someone else had a 1 star. I think B Money actually looked pretty good in this situation for once with a 2-star. And I tried some ridiculous thing sometimes you're like hitting on the fly in life, and I got a 0-star. So it just kind of happened. Yeah, you just laugh about it. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, if you're getting pissed off about stuff like that, you're just taking it too seriously. It's annoying. It's a bit embarrassing, but it's a bit of a laugh at the same time. You got B Money loving it because he's got a 2-star.
Alex says it was one of his favourite ever streams. Brilliant.
Alex must have been watching that thinking, what the hell am I watching? But yeah, Scottish streamer.
Have you been Googling other Scottish streamers?
I was actually looking. I asked Alex the other day, do you know any other Scottish streamers? Because I was going to say the third one just to piss you both off. But I don't think there is another Scottish streamer. But I don't think there is a Scottish number. And
I genuinely don't think there is.
And he's put me in this position where I've got our in-clan streamer does one hell of a lot of work and promotion. And the other guy, I'm on his podcast. He's a good mate. And he's asked me this question. I'm going to have to give him an answer.
So I've got a second question here as well. Lil asks, how much does Alex annoy you?
Yeah, he's probably not as much as I annoy him. I think I probably pissed him off a few times. I think we had a little falling out once for a day. It was over some nonsense. He was under pressure in Alpha League. I was under pressure in EYG. Just kind of fell out over nothing. But I gave him a call the next day and it was absolutely fine. I was a little bit worried for a day. I was like, oh, God, I'm going to make friends with him. And he did. It's fine. Never got any issues with him. One little falling out in 2 years is nothing. But he's a good bloke, top bloke. And I've got to say, I don't know how, you talk about other people doing EYG and how you do it, but he does, he runs a league. He's the person league.
Yeah. And he puts out YouTube content so much.
He does YouTube content.
He's a player. Every day. It's crazy.
He's a player. And he's a graphic. And he's a streamer.
Yeah.
And he's got a full-time job. And he's got to entertain Lil, which I'm sure is the hardest job out of them all.
And he's a postie. Yeah, exactly.
And he's a postie. I'm just imagining belting it around on his postie bike, getting home, doing the stream. I don't know how he does it, man. He's an absolute machine. Yeah. I've got a lot of respect for him. But
I'm your favourite. I get it. Yeah, you got a lot of respect for him, but I'm your favourite. That's fine. We'll settle it there. This is the right place. That's the right way to end that stream.
That is the right way to end
it. Mate, thank you so much for coming in, coming on the stream. My plan, I've got a few sort of interviews set up and to keep going, but my plan eventually is to almost do what we did there with the Worlds chat and actually get maybe yourself and a couple other people on and just sort of chatting about what's happened at the weekend or new developments in the game and actually having a bit. So I hope you want to come back again and sort of maybe talk less about yourself and stuff and just talk about the game that we all love. So that's kind of the plan going forward. So thank you so much, man, for coming in. It's been
no worries. My pleasure, man. I just want to can I just quickly roast Zane quickly?
Of course you can, mate. You have the floor. While I find someone to stream, if it's someone to raid into, you crack on. You destroy. Shout out whoever you want. Destroy whoever you want. The floor. I
just want to give Zane a quick shout out. And my favourite moment ever in the game was when nothing to do with playing. We're all on voice for some random war. I can't remember. And you can just hear him. I wanted to say this somewhere in the stream, but I forgot. And you can just hear his wife giving him this massive bollocking in the background. He just got his mobile open check for I think it's $32. You can just hear her going, this isn't enough, Zane. I know you like your esports and all that, but $32 just isn't going to cut it. So get your ass back on this game. He's on a bit of a break right now. Top bloke. Massive respect. He can't drink for shit. But get your ass back on this game. We miss you.
Happy days. The entire chat is saying that we need to get your face cam for next time, so that might have to be the next thing that we do. So maybe if we bring you back, we'll maybe buy you a $20 webcam so that we can actually see your sexy face as well.
We can do that at some stage. It would be an iPhone or an ironing board right now, which is quite difficult.
You know what? Those iPhones are flipping good pictures, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't really know I was going to do this. I'm just pacing it around the house, drinking beers right now. But yeah, it's been fun, and thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No worries.
I hope I've given some people who've wasted an hour and a half of their life listening to this a bit of a laugh, but that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Mate, I've had a good time. It's been great fun, and it's been awesome. I'm hoping to do more of these. Next week I've got Bradders and Kiki from Clash Champs, and so it'll be a slightly different conversation, all about like an esports team perspective and also from a base builder sort of point of view. So that'll be a different one again. So mate, thank you so much, and everyone else, thank you for hanging around and watching. If you want to say anything else, want to say hi to YouTube, put it on right now over there. Clash with Style, Alex, you're a legend. Says this was amazing, guys. We're going to raid into Mara Jade. We're going to do that now. I'm going to hit return there. Join me on the raid. Let's go and give her a wee raid. Spam those EYG emotes if you're a sub. If you're not a sub, maybe unlock them. Spam them in Mara's stream, because why not? That'll be fun. She's got some Lost Meta gaming going on. War, so actually get to watch some Clash of Clans in a second. But thank you so much, guys. Catch you next time. Thank you, Crunk. See you later. Goodbye.
Cheers, buddy.